roof drainage systems are so important. So what I mean by a roof drainage system is gutters and downspouts. Now, this area is too low, so all of the water is just settling right here. That's it. Look how deep that water is. See the water there?
Now that water seeps down.
Yeah, look at that. Look, and this rock was actually blocking it. See how now it's draining away? What will prevent this is, number one, grading it away. But honestly, I like to pipe the roof drainage underground and away from the house. Okay. Now look, Joey, there was maybe an inch and a half of snow on the roof, and it's making that much water come off the roof. Wow. So now come over here. Look at it. See how it's all undermining? Undermining means when it's all...
Now, should that have a piece that's shooting out to the...
It should. It actually should go underground.
Okay.
And it does over here. So, now, this one is going underground, but I like this to be more of a secure fitting, because what happens is leaves and stuff get in there, and it gets blocked up. This is the sump pump that pumps the water out, and it goes into that.
When does that come out?
When does it come out?
Where?
It comes out of the sump pump. So look at it. It's
wow.
Overfilled. Oh. This is a huge problem. This is in the corner of the basement where the sump pump is. Well, we really do have to figure out why that pipe is filled up, because none of the other ones are. So there's a problem with that one. It might have collapsed, or it might be filled with some stuff. So and we're gonna have to correct that.
Yeah, how do we correct that?
We're gonna have to dig it up.
Okay.
And a pipe is not wrapped in the fabric, so it's just all the water's coming in, and it's just pouring sand in the bucket. And no matter how many times I clear it out, it's just filling up with water. Where is it coming from? The ground. It's groundwater. And this is why proper installation of sump pumps with fabric, crushed stone is very important. Because this is just a shame that this basement looks like this because of poor workmanship. So I'm gonna have to continue to pump the water out and get that sump pump tank clean and figure out what we're gonna do from there. Because if there's no fabric, it's going to just keep clogging up. This is why you get correct home inspector to inspect your house. The customer asked me why the home inspector didn't notice these problems, and the only thing that I could say was because you didn't have the right one. Unfortunately, home inspectors are human, they make mistakes, but what I'm seeing in this house, they shouldn't have missed. It's obvious. I'm going to drill a couple holes over here, and we're using a hammer drill, go through the concrete. My goal is to come into the pipe where the French drain is, and I want to run my camera and see if there's any water in it or any blockage. Safety glasses. This is the next hole that we dug, and you can see how high the water table is. Again, it's only about 3 inches below the top of concrete floor. So we had the area under the main water line, and then only about maybe 20 feet away, we had this, and we dug down quite a ways, and we just hit water. We didn't hit any pipe. is the pipe. So, see this pipe right here? This pipe should have 6 inches of crushed stone on top of it and 4 inches of crushed stone on top of that. This pipe, instead of being 1 inch below concrete, below grade, it should be 10 inches. Here's the problem. My intuition was correct once again. So, this is the whole reason that the French drain's not working. Freezing water. Jeez. I guess that's what groundwater feels like in the winter. So you see that? That's just basically like a compression fitting. So as you tighten it, it compresses on the ring. Disconnect that, and then we take the pump out. What we're looking at is the sump pump tank, and we jackhammered around the tank to identify the pipes and the locations that they came from. And you can tell that the water table is only about 3 to 4 inches away from the height of the concrete floor, the top of concrete. So right now the sump pump is currently taken out just so we could work. We're going to put that back in, which is going to bring the water table back down. It has only been out for about 20 minutes. So right here, this was already a cutout in the floor for the main water line. So we were assuming that the French drain went around the entire basement because we see it coming in from 2 locations, and then it comes on the 3rd wall. But it stops halfway. And when we look down the closet, you can see puddles on the floor, which are the groundwater rising up because there's no French drain right here. Over here, this right here is the start of the pipe. Now, the pipe was 1 inch below concrete. So, you know, I hit it with the jackhammer and it went right through, and they have it wrapped in the sleeve. And then they started it right here, and they wrapped it to the tank, and then they did the wall on the front of the house. And that's it. And here lies the problem. Here lies the problem right here, that the French drain does not wrap the entire basement, and this is why the basement just keeps flooding. All right, check this out, Joey. So, see in the hole?
Yes.
So you see the water running, right?
Yes.
Now, I just want to show you this. Watch this. Now watch the water.
Building back up, huh?
Watch the water. What? See it coming down the sides?
Yep. Yes, I do.
See it coming down the sides?
Yep. On both sides too, huh?
I knew it would have safety glasses on and it still gets in my eye. There, where's that one? Let's see if this fits first. Actually, this is going to make it easier.
Show me what's going on.
Yeah.
I like to know what's going on.
You want to grab the other pump? Water's filling up so quick, it's making it float. We can play with that afterwards. We should grind it.
Excuse me,
where the
there.
stop is on the inside of it.
Trying to learn what's going on.
No, I know. What'd you say, Dave?
See where the stop is on the inside of the boot?
Yeah. So, but this is gonna be about right here. So.
Yeah, that's right.
You need a screwdriver?
Go ahead, reject on it, Dave. Huh?
Now, does the water have to be past that bubble on the,
What bubble?
that little...
The float. No, the float. It's already past it. It'll already raise up.
Float real low in that, Joey. So
Yeah, what is it?
come on, lower.
Press them tight, Dave.
Yep. Everything's tight.
What you say, Dave?
Should be.
I'll just
Check them out first. I'm pretty sure I tightened them all.
All right, so that is the downspout. It appears to have gotten plugged up with concrete from the fence post that was crushed and destroyed. It appears to be whoever did the fence. Now, no, it's filled with concrete because it is solid as a rock. The whole thing's filled with concrete. And they even used some string to attempt to hold it in place, which is terrible. Now, this is the sump pump. This is how much water is pumping out of the basement. And because that pipe is pitched backwards, it is running back into the hole where the downspout was running into. And this is why the downspout was never draining. The fence is starting to tip over because it's eroding away. And that, I'm gonna wait for that to turn off. All right, so this is a perforated pipe that is at a bad angle, pitching away from the house. Now, as the sump pump kicks on, there's so much pressure, it's just shooting out the back of the pipe through the perforations. And this house has so much water under it, groundwater. I mean, it's heavy today because of just that small amount of snow we got. But this sump pump doesn't stop. The sump pump we just put in the basement. Look at the amount of water pumping out of this basement every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds, the sump pump kicked on. So as you can tell, it's just going downhill, and these two pipes must be connected together underground, and it's just flowing back into the foundation instead of away from the house. Wow. Like every 25 seconds. There's big problems here.
good, thank you.
I think it's better than Dave's technique.
Yeah.
Much better, right?
More,
All right. So I just want to explain when you're cutting concrete.
yes.
This is how I do it anyways. So I go down the line by keeping I get my line by going like this. Just keeping the blade up and I run it down the line like this. You see what I'm doing? So I'm instead of trying to get the whole 4 inches of concrete with the blade,
Yeah.
I'm keeping the guard up and I'm just running it down, and then I'm getting it straight, and then I'm going down because it's very easy for that to bite.
Right.
We all know what happens when it bites.
So you basically, you go on the top of it and then you
Yeah.
push down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be it for now. We're gonna cut this and we'll come back and we'll jackhammer it up.
Sounds good. Now you.
If you could just show everybody Joey's knee pads.
Well, I let my boss use my other ones,
It's called job security.
and they were super wet.
Sorry.
No, it's just funny, right?
Yeah.
We know a big part of Joey having like a job, and it's just like because he brings in.
Oh, so I was going with the more filthy side of job security, knee pads. Kind of a funny joke. Oh, okay. Back to focus.
Let's put it down.
Joey, can you just get to the left a little bit so I can get it? That's good right there. Better shot.
We'll do the best we can with this. Put the plate on it. Okay. And then if you grab another piece of tape, I'll do the bottom. There you go. Utilize those teeth.
Yeah. Use it for something.
All right, so we're just pushing these over. You can pull it out. There you go. All right, so now just go. It's fine. Just go. Just keep the silicone there. It's good because the more the merrier. Okay. So just put this whole thing in the other room. Okay. And here with it all. Put the whole thing in the other room. Yeah. And just make sure it lays just flat like that so everything can dry. And I'll go to use it. It'll be all dry.
Paused out.
Yep.